more than the last parliament election. You have to compare this with the electorate of 176 million for the first general election conducted for the country in 1952. As against that, the increase itself this time is 100 million over the last general election. However, there would always be complaints about certain people not finding their names in the electoral rolls. All kinds of complaints like, we voted in all the previous elections, now our names are not in the roll, we have got EPIC but we are not allowed to vote, things like that. Keeping in view this kind of a predicament, we have decided to afford one more opportunity for enrollment. The Commission has directed that special camps shall be organized in all the polling stations in the country in over 9 lakh premises, where the booth level officer will be available with a copy of the electoral roll displayed on the notice board with requisite number of Form 6, that is the application form, etc., with the BLO. We would appeal through you to such of those who want to confirm the presence of their names in the electoral rolls to avail of this opportunity just before the general election, so that if any names are missing, if any people still want to get enrolled, they can file the application on that day, and we have given instructions to the election staff that all such applications shall be disposed of well in time to enable such voters to participate in the forthcoming general election. 9th March, Sunday, is the date which we have set apart. This is the day when in the entire country, in all the polling stations, booth level officers will be sitting along with the electoral roll and application forms for such people who seek enrollment at this stage. Photo electoral rolls and EPIC, these have become some of the special features of Indian elections which have helped streamline the identification process during the poll. The country had gone to polls with photo electoral rolls for the first time in 2009. At that time, the percentage of photos on the rolls was 82, while today it has reached 98.64%. So similarly, EPIC distribution, which was 82% last time, has already reached 96%. We hope it will also reach 98 to 99%, same as photo electoral rolls before the polls. Polling stations. As you know, our election poll is taken polling station wise. We have approximately 9,30,000 polling stations in the country, which is 12% more than number of polling stations in last election, that was 8.30 lakh polling stations. Over a period of time, Commission has been laying emphasis on provision of basic minimum facilities at polling stations. We have issued instructions to election staff and also followed up in meetings with chief secretaries for equipping polling stations with basic necessary facilities like drinking water, shed, this is required because of hot summer season, toilets, and ramp for the physically challenged persons, and standard voting compartments in every polling station. As has been the case during 2004 and 2009, 2014 Lok Sabha polls also shall be held with electronic voting machines. You all know about the introduction of Nota facility in the voting machines. This was introduced during the last 5 state elections pursuant to the order of the Honorable Supreme Court. Nota facility shall be provided in general election 2014 also, and appropriate instructions will be issued. You also know the soul in election management of Election Commission of India is the observance and enforcement of Model Code of Conduct. With our announcement of the schedule today, Model Code of Conduct shall come into force with immediate effect. We have devoted considerable time on law and order and creating secure environs for the conduct of fair, free and peaceful polls. Among the various measures to ensure free and fair elections, we have taken particular care to ensure that people living in vulnerable locations, vulnerable sections of voters, they are enabled to be in continuous touch with election machinery so that adequate protection is given to them to ensure that they are enabled to vote free of obstruction, uninfluenced, unintimidated by anyone. We have asked the magistracy as well as the police machinery to maintain law and order and also to invoke the preventive provisions available in the law to ensure that all protection is given to the voters, particularly in vulnerable habitations. The Commission